here today with Michaela. We're going to talk to you a little bit about team driving jobs and different opportunities that we have. So we have plenty to talk about. It's a very hot topic. And while we're chatting today, too, if you want to ask some questions in the comments, we'll answer them as we go. If they relate to teams, great. If not, we'll answer those as well, too. So we'll kind of kick it off and start by explaining basically what teams makes sense, teams, right? But what else does it all entail? So I'll kind of like Michaela take it away.
Yeah, so team driving is a great opportunity for new drivers, experienced drivers. There are lots of different ways around it. And we also have a lot of different opportunities. So differences within like our Jet Set program, we have team opportunities, just a regular drive-in, lots of different home times for those team driving jobs.
Now, you mentioned Jet Set. A lot of people, can you explain what Jet Set is?
Yeah, so a Jet Set program is where we are going to cover the cost of flying you to different locations. So each time you go out on the road, you're going to be flown to a different location, more than likely. So we cover that cost, and then we're going to fly you back home, but you are going to drive within like that general area for, those couple weeks that you're out on the road or however long you are out for.
Right. It's a really cool, neat way if you want to kind of get out, see other places that aren't necessarily within your region. You can definitely test out that Jet Set opportunity. And if you like flying, hey, it's one of those that's a good option as well, too. So when you're out, yeah, like Mikhail said, there's Jet Set teams, there's dedicated, so you can be dedicated to a specific customer that we have on board. Lots of different options. I know back when I started, it was just driving freight of all kinds, and now lots of regions have 5, 6 different types of team driving accounts as well, too. And they continue to increase every day. So Schneider Jobs is a great place to check it out. You can actually filter on the left-hand side to team driving. So the biggest question I get is, a lot of people say, oh, I'm really interested in team, but I don't have a team partner. So tell them what we do if we don't have a team partner.
So we have a team matching spreadsheet that we work with to, find you that team partner. So you are going to fill that out during orientation. We're going to match you with somebody. You are going to fill out like your preferences, such as music type, if you want day driving, night driving, whatever that may be. We're going to try our best to pair you with somebody that's going to be along those, same interests as you, because we want to have, you to have the best experience as possible with that team partner of yours.
Right. And not everyone's going to be an exact perfect match. So don't panic or fret if you get with somebody and it's just not really clicking or working out. That's okay. We're not going to force you to stay with that person then too. So you can definitely just contact your manager, say, hey, not really the best fit. We'll work on getting you something else too. So once again, I'm Courtney Michaela with, not Courtney Michaela, you are Michaela. I'm Courtney with Driver Recruiting, talking today about team driving jobs. A lot of questions are coming in, so that's great. Keep asking those. Albert is asking, how many weeks out are you on the Jet Set program? So if you want to answer that.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the position itself. So you would be able to utilize SchneiderJobs.com to kind of see specifically, that home time. There are some where you're going to be out, 3 weeks at a time and then have that full week back at home. So again, it just kind of depends on what specific position you're going to apply for. Mm-hmm. So definitely go on SchneiderJobs.com and look through, and you can even preference your, to a Jet Set position as well, the home time, whatever you're looking for to find that best opportunity for you.
Right. And another thing to add to that as well is a lot of people will ask, well, hey, if I'm getting so many miles in a typical week, can we stay out longer than that? Absolutely. Like, we're not going to say no. So if you want to, and the two of you are okay and comfortable with, hey, I want another week, another 2 weeks, just let your manager know. It's something we can easily work out. So great question. Jack says, I start on the 12th in Indianapolis. That's awesome. Okay, good luck on orientation. The Indianapolis is one of our team location spots. We have a couple throughout the U.S., so it might require you to travel a little bit further to go to orientation and training, but we help out with travel, get you your room and board for the time that you're there, along with 2 meals a day and transportation back and forth from the hotel. So pretty slick and pretty nice. Yeah. So good luck to you at orientation. That's awesome. A couple other things I briefly mentioned it, but mileage and stuff like that. So if you want to kind of touch base on that.
So our team positions are getting the most miles. The truck is always moving on the team position, which is how those drivers are able to get more miles. So with that, you and your team partner are going to split the miles, not split the pay, which is a big question that quite a few of our candidates ask. So you are going to roughly average anywhere between like 5,000, 6,000 miles a week. You can always, again, that's just an average. You may get, more than that. So it just kind of depends on the truck and your stops.
Absolutely. And what's nice about, especially like van truckload or hauling dry freight, is usually the normal average length of a haul is 1,000 miles. So between the two of you, you're going to be putting in a lot of miles in a week, which is really nice. And because mileage is usually so much higher than a solo account, equipment, it can take a toll on equipment. So we keep usually everything in a team job up to date. Equipment within a year is usually on average. We don't want anything to be out on the road too much longer than that, because then things start to get run down or outdated and things like that too. So a lot of great questions on Lefty's asking, what about what is intermodal jobs? So in terms of teams, we are not in that team space in our intermodal division. However, I always explain it as to make it simple, hauling freight in and out of rail yards is like kind of the simplest of explanations for that. So not only do you deliver to customers, different locations, but then that freight can literally go into a rail yard. We can take the container off a chassis, so it sits on like a foundation, essentially, putting it onto a rail car, and then that can go from Chicago to California or vice versa. So it's taken by a rail car versus an actual driver. Mm-hmm. So a lot of great options as well too, and in the intermodal division, if you want to check that out. The way that we were kind of talking about filtering for teams, you can filter for our intermodal jobs as well too. So a lot of good opportunities with that. So great question. Albert is still asking, what areas are driven in the central U.S. region? So in terms of, I'll answer two parts to that question real quick. So central U.S. region, we have a lot of our regional accounts are within the central 24 states. So if you think of a map of the U.S., nothing in the northeast New England region, like as far north as Pennsylvania, and then nothing west of the Rocky Mountains. So those kind of central 24 states are what you're going to be seeing quite a bit. Now, in terms of a team job, majority will be in some sort of over the road, so traveling within the 48 states. You have your one-offs with dedicated accounts and things like that, but be ready our teams hit every part of the country, so it's a pretty cool, neat job. So great question. Keep asking those questions. We are live, so if you want to ask anything regarding teams, definitely feel free to go about doing so. I'll let you kind of kick off and begin. What makes a good team driver? So what are we looking for in a team driver?
Yeah, so when we're looking for team drivers, of course, we want somebody with patience, because you are going to be with another driver all day, every day. So somebody easy to talk to, friendly, definitely somebody looking for an ability to, share the space, because that truck is pretty much your home, when you're out on your road, mm-hmm. on the road, that is going to be your home. So somebody that, you're willing to share your space with somebody else. Of course, you'll have your time, because when your team partner is driving, that is considered your off time. So that would be, for example, the time where you're sleeping, etc. So even though you're together all the time, you do still, it still does seem like you have your own separate spaces, because they'll be up front and you'll be in the back. So again, somebody who has, that wants that teamwork, because again, you're going to be with somebody all day, every day, which is why quite a few people enjoy this. You're not just in the truck alone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Get to kind of share that team partnership, mm-hmm. and get somebody else to, companionship essentially. Yeah. So, which kind of brings us to the next portion, which is, pets. Yeah. So it's a big thing that's been a hot topic within the last
6 months.
6 months. Yeah, I figured out how long we've been doing it now. So our team drivers are allowed a pet on board if they want. So either a cat or a dog, they can bring on board. Basically, once you get through your orientation, if that's something that you and your team partner want to do, you can talk to your manager, fill out some paperwork, go through a little bit of a process, and then bring that team partner on board. So for those that have a pet, and I've found out about this, are very, very excited. So it's been pretty nice and successful since we've kicked it off, about 6 months ago or so.
And just going off of that, so if you're somebody that does not want a pet on board in that matching, in your matching profile that you can also mark, you're looking for somebody with a pet or you're looking for somebody without a pet. So you don't have to feel like, you're going to be matched with somebody with a, with a dog or a cat if you don't want to be.
Right. And currently right now too, we're kind of sticking to those that already have a team partner in mind, to get that pet on board too. So, good questions. The other benefits as well too, those that are newer to driving right out of school. We have our tuition reimbursement program. So right now, if you're a solo driver, you can earn earn $200 a month paid back directly to you from your tuition. If you're on a team account, that's $400. So basically an extra $400 a month paid back to you from your schooling up to $7,000. So just a little added bonus if you come on that team account, get a little bit more paid back to you each month, which is really nice.
Another great thing about just like the benefits of becoming a team driver, it's going to be about 98% no touch freight. So if you're looking for a position that doesn't, that you don't have to worry about touching that freight, this is a great opportunity again, just those team driving jobs, because you don't have to worry about that.
Right, which is good too, because if you think about this time of the year where it's just hot, muggy outside, and you have to unload trailers, and the trailer is so super hot. Yeah, I mean, like that, and that's just not your cup of tea. Yeah, a good 95% of our team jobs have no touch freight, so it's a really great opportunity to take advantage of. So, reminder, we are live, taking your questions if you have any regarding team driving jobs, and have had a lot of good questions already as well too. Some that are already starting orientation here pretty quick, which is exciting. We also have benefits with every driver is eligible for performance pay. So basically, how performance pay works is, at the end of each full quarter, we'll have you review metrics with your manager. So like on-time delivery, safe driving, fuel efficiency. And if you hit those certain metrics, you can earn additional pay to be added on to your rate per mile. I always say with your teams, we find that a majority of teams do earn some form of performance pay. You got somebody else to watch your back. So Michaela and I are on a team, and I'm not keeping my log up to date. You got your team partner to say, hey, make sure you update that or log it correctly, because that could impact your performance pay as well too. So somebody always gonna keep an eye on you, watch your back, that type of thing too. So another question came in. Sage asks, how long are teams out for? So I'll kind of let you do that.
Yeah, so teams can be out for as long as you and your team partner choose to. If you and your team partner, for instance, want to just stay out on the road, you can. So as long as you guys come to an agreement, you just have to kind of keep that driver business leader informed, and you can stay out on the road as long as you choose to.
We have some teams that, and we even talk about like who's a part of the team. So we have husbands and wives, other spouses, siblings. I've had father sons, mother's daughters, just best buddies, all come on board with a team. And if you decide that we've got some that stay out for months at a time because they choose to do so, or others that I think there's a couple that are home weekly, every other week, that type of thing as well too. So lots of different options. It's just kind of what works best.
Yeah. And then with the team drivers, because they are, like we had mentioned earlier, getting so many miles, they are getting paid. They are getting paid more. So that's a nice thing, especially for new drivers coming out of school. They're seeing the yearly average for a solo position versus a team position. A lot of them are wanting to, go towards that team position just because they are getting on average more cents per mile, because that truck is always moving.
Absolutely. In terms of pay too, we're kind of on that subject. Usually there's an annual increase as well too. Hazmat pay is usually an added bonus. So if you are looking to get any sort of endorsements of any kind, you might want to look into hazmat endorsement. So while not required, if you have it, opens up more opportunity to haul more freight, and then can get additional pay on top of that if you happen to get a hazmat load as well too. So that's always going to have in your back pocket.
Definitely.
Do both drivers need to have the same experience time, or like experience of driving, or can one have more than the other? Great question.
Yeah, so we could have a candidate straight out of trucking school and somebody with 20 plus years of experience. So you don't have to have the same amount of experience to be team partners. What if you have somebody coming in, we can either pair you with some, do that team matching program, or if you have a partner that you want to be partnered with coming in, we can get that set up as well. So you don't have to be at the same amount of experience.
Right. And we've had too a lot of great options and opportunities where, so experienced and inexperienced training is different lengths, where if one student gets done with their orientation quicker than the other,
Yeah.
that person can drive solo until the next person's done, or vice versa, whatever. So a lot of options with that too. Or I've planned it out before where one person just waits to go to orientation until they end at the same time. We've had that before as well too. So lots of different options. Lots of good questions been coming in. And somebody said, I like this question, which is funny. So I guess being antisocial isn't someone you may hire because team driving may be mandated. So we want to clarify on that one. So team driving is not mandated. And I've heard this a couple of times from people that may go to orientations elsewhere. The only portion of like team that would be mandated would be if you're a new driver, so you don't have any tractor trailer experience or have little tractor trailer experience. You do have to spend some time with a trainer in a truck. And that's usually for at tops 7 to 10 days, maybe depending on the orientation you're training. So once you complete your training and orientation, there's no requirement to do team if you don't want to. Absolutely. So good question. I'll let you take this one. Somebody's asking, how do I get my hazmat endorsement?
Yeah, so if you are looking to obtain your hazmat endorsement, we do offer some self-paced online courses here at Schneider to help you obtain that. Otherwise, you could just take that test at your local DMV if you are wanting to get that before coming on board at Schneider. It does require some fingerprinting, so it does take a little bit longer. Sometimes it can take up to 30 days to come back. So definitely, if that is something you're looking for, just go ahead and start studying for that test and take that.
Yeah, I would say it's better to, if you're thinking, should I get an endorsement or not, it's always nice to have it. Even if it's not required, you never know what may pop up that could give you that opportunity to haul some more freight. So,
and then another nice thing about the hazmat is we do reimburse for that. So if you have to, if you're going to get that hazmat, if you get that on your own, we will reimburse you for that.
Yeah, good questions. So lots of good questions coming in as well too. We talked a little bit. Let's talk about the guaranteed pay program. Yeah, that's something that's been very popular.
So right now there is a guaranteed pay program. It is going to be $1,000 weekly as of now. So as long as you are driving, I believe it is 45 hours.
Yep, correct.
So 45 hours for your first 120 days, you are getting that guaranteed pay.
Yep, absolutely. So it's basically, it's there kind of, I explain it like a safety net. So if for any reason your paycheck dropped below $1,000 for the week and you're on that team account, we would basically bump it back up. So, but if you're making more than that, fantastic. Then you don't have to worry about it. It's really just there as a safety net for those first 120 days or so.
Yeah, and I like to explain it that, it's more, safety is our number one concern here at Schneider. We want you to worry about getting to and from the places safely versus having to worry about, you want to make so much money a week. This is guaranteeing you that $1,000 weekly. So those first 3 months, you can really focus on your routes and just getting comfortable and safe with the truck.
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of great questions coming in. Do you train employees to get their CDL? I'm trying to get into it. Fantastic. So yes, we have a couple different ways that you can go about getting your Class A CDL here with us. One of them is through our apprenticeship program, and the other two is through company-sponsored CDL training. Biggest difference between the two is company-sponsored. We literally sponsor you to attend a truck driving school. We pay for the tuition, ask that you just drive with us for about a year. The apprenticeship program is more of an accelerated version of that, where you attend like a school and our orientation in a 1 5-week course. So both programs very, very popular. So if you want to get the kind of the process sped up a little bit, no matter which one you choose, I would highly recommend obtaining your Class A permit. For the apprenticeship program, it's required. Not all the company-sponsored schools require it, but it just speeds up the process a little bit faster. So getting the permit is literally taking that exam at the DMV. So I would, if you're looking to get into that process, I would really highly recommend getting that permit and then getting us a call to figure out which program works best for you. Another question is, how often are new recruits paid while in training?
Yeah, so if you were to go down these like the apprenticeship program, that route, if you are looking to get your Class A license here at Schneider, the apprenticeship program, you are paid during training. So you are paid $80 a day. If you already have your Class A CDL and you just need to go to orientation or training for that, that is as well paid at $8 a day.
Absolutely. Another kind of follow-up to that, asking, hey, if I want to pay for my training, so I don't have to be obligated to that financial contract, can I do so? Absolutely. Big majority of our new or inexperienced drivers kind of go that route, and take part then in our tuition reimbursement. So if you attend a truck driving school and you pay for it out of your own pocket with a loan, if you're a military vet and you utilize your GI Bill benefits, we can reimburse for that in $200 payments a month after you've been on board for 30 days. So it's really easy to do. All you have to do is send your recruiter paperwork showing that you paid for that tuition. We attach it to your profile, and it just gets added to the report that gets sent out. So very easy.
And then a nice thing for like the tuition reimbursement, if you were to decide to go team, you would instead be getting $400 a month. So instead of just that $200 for the solo, it would be $400 if you are a part of a team.
All right. Lots of good questions coming in. So I'm just reading. I'm like lost where I was. Okay. All right. So if both team members continue to work with each other, what would the cost be to reimburse for training? So you would just set get $400 for that tuition reimbursement. Another question being asked is, can you team in tanker?
So as of right now, we don't have any tanker team positions.
Correct. But we have been really gearing up a lot of dedicated freight in the team space. I've seen a couple of, in one location I looked at the other day, it had like 6 or 7 team driving accounts, and 80% were dedicated. So a lot of cool opportunities to haul freight for specific customers. So if you wanted to kind of take a look at that, you can definitely check out schneiderjobs.com and filter to that team driving on the left-hand side once you type in your zip code. So lots of great questions. You can continue to ask them even after we're done chatting today. We'll still answer those questions. We are both current active recruiters, so you might get one of us on the phone if you call on in to get qualified. Very easy to do. Fill out your application at schneiderjobs.com. Call the 844 PRIDE number, or you can text chat to 28,000. We got a lot of recruiters on hand that are working hard to get people on the phone and to figure out what works best for you so that you can be successful, whether you're getting your CDL or you already have it and we're getting you on board. We would love to talk to you. So give us a call, and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.